Hi everyone, this is me, Berry. Today's video is going to be a little bit serious. What is happening around the world? And what surprised me is that when I see people protesting about any specific group and they want to, even on my comment section, some people write down free Palestine, free this, free that, but a lot of people don't talk about minorities in other places. Yes, of course, there is atrocities and humanitarian crimes that is happening in Palestine, and people are suffering, and we cannot turn our faces from that. But at the same time, what about the other minorities in other places who are also equally suffering? And who's going to talk about it? Why we only take one issue and make it a bigger issue than anybody else is suffering? We have to take everything seriously. Why people don't talk about it? I mean, if you can figure out why people are not choosing to talk about it, let me know. The first time when I saw footages of people suffering in Palestine in 2011, I was devastated. I felt like, how could somebody do that to the kids? And how can, families and kids can suffer this much? It was, for me, like, it was enough for me to make me turn away from God. Basically, at that time I did turn away from God. At that time I was keep asking myself this question, that how could God allow this? But eventually I come to terms with it. I'm still not fully understanding why the God allows this, but I still believe in God. I still hope, because every time I want to pray, I pray to God for all these people who are suffering. The atrocities are happening towards Druze and Christian communities, the minorities in Syria. And tell me why people are not talking about it, why enough people are not talking about it, why there are no protests about these. So I've come to terms, and I've come to the point that we are harming each other for the sake of our ideology. I mean, we are still the same human being, but just because we believe in something, just because we are born into a certain cultures, into certain religion, people are against us without even knowing us personally, without even causing harm to each other. We make enemies like that because of so many other political and ideological differences, and then people go to an extent to actually do all this harm to people just because of their ideology. Does it actually make us human? Are we actually human? Because I used to think human beings have better senses. They have better way of comprehending complicated thinking, deeper thoughts. But looking at all this, I feel, is that what we call human being? Should I be proud of being human? What world am I living in? I could never imagine like people would be that cruel to people just because of ideology. They do not even have any personal hatred towards each other. Just because of their ideology, they're against people like this. And it's filled with this much hatred. And not just hatred, but they're also doing physical harm. The atrocities that you can't even name. They're so cruel that you can't even think, and it can give you nightmares. And then people get offended when people turn against that person or that sort of ideology, because they take it upon themselves. Oh, we are peaceful, so why people are blaming everyone like this? It's not about everyone. But you guys, some of you choose to stay quiet when the atrocities are happening to others, but not your own community. Why is that? Why can we not take sides of all human beings who are suffering? Why can't nobody have freedom to follow who they want to follow, to like what they like, to live the way they would like to live, as long as they're not harming other people? Why it has to be dictated? One thing I understand about this, that when somebody's family member is unalived in a war or harmed in this type of atrocity, and the leftover members, I can imagine what their mental state would be like when they are spared, luckily if they are spared, and what they will grow up to be. And that's why we have probably a lot of future generation who do the same atrocities to each other, taking revenge out of the other people who probably would be similar way innocent as they were, but now they are taking revenge from other people from the community, not the individual person who have harmed them. And if we go by this, it will keep going on like this. What is going to happen right now with these people who are left over, and their future generations will seek revenge because of the mental health they have been provided, because of the trauma that have been given to them. And that's how we make future generation hating each other. And I can understand about them and their mentality, because they have seen all those atrocities. But we are the ones who are sitting in Western societies who are not dealing with it. We can see both sides, and we can actually be unbiased. We can actually be unbiased, and we can actually help both of them to come out of that hatred, to come out of that atrocity, and to help all of them who are in need in this war crimes. But what started in Western society now, that we are also being biased. We are also taking sides. Every community is taking their own people's sides, and nobody's dealing with it. Nobody wants to deal with it. People think it's not their problem, it's somebody else's problem, and somebody else will deal with it. Or we can just turn off the phone when the video like this is coming, because our food is getting cold. I was just eating, I couldn't see that because that was too violent for me to see, because I was just eating. How comfortably people say this and avoid these serious issues without talking about it. All you can do is at least talk about it, about the humanitarian crisis that is happening all around the world, not just in one particular place, not just in Palestine, not just in one particular place, but everywhere wherever the humanitarian rights are violated, where humans are suffering, where the cruelty is so severe that you cannot even describe in words, that you have to turn off the telly when those footages are showing up. Please wake up and be unbiased, especially when you are in Western society, and open your mind and talk about it. Don't just talk about one particular thing, one particular place, but other people who are also suffering. Don't be biased. Thank you.